At 79, Dolly Parton doesn't appear to be slowing down. Despite current health issues, Dolly Parton, who is 79 years old, nevertheless exudes the fortitude, self-assurance, and optimism that have characterized her illustrious career for over 60 years. Even though health issues have occasionally come out in the media over the years, something that is practically unavoidable for a well-known worldwide celebrity, Parton constantly assures her followers that she is still strong, active, and totally dedicated to her career. Parton has never shied away from putting her health first. She highlights rest, balance, and maintaining mental vitality as essential elements of her longevity. She handles minor health-related difficulties with the same humor and tenacity that her fans adore. Parton herself claims that in order to continue doing what she loves, she works closely with her doctors, pays attention to her physique, and takes care of her health. Fans are most impressed by her unwavering determination. She is still releasing new music, working with up-and-coming musicians, and taking part in charitable endeavors through her renowned literacy program, the Imagination Library, at the age of almost 80. One of Parton's biggest sources of inspiration and happiness, she claims, is continuing to be creatively active. Her dedication to well-being extends beyond her physical health to include her emotional and spiritual well-being. She thinks it's important to cultivate optimism, be thankful, and surround oneself with positive people. She frequently claims that this way of thinking is what keeps her going at any age. Dolly is still as vivacious as ever, despite occasional reports about health issues. Millions of people continue to be inspired by her passion for storytelling, singing, and giving back. They respect not only her musical ability, but also her extraordinary fortitude and spirit. A lifetime of vigor and willpower. Dolly, born in the Tennessee foothills in 1946, Rebecca Parton had a modest but ambitious childhood. Her perseverance, not just skill, was what propelled her from a one-room hut to international superstardom. She still has that same level of endurance. Parton frequently makes jokes about having too much to do to consider slowing down. She really does mean it. She still keeps up a schedule that would be difficult for performers many years younger. She writes songs, manages Dollywood operations, takes part in interviews, supports her literacy foundation, and fosters new creative endeavors. Her commitment is based on a lifetime belief that work provides purpose to life rather than being a means of escape. She has repeatedly stated, "I don't believe in retiring. I think retiring is a good idea." Taking care of public health issues with grace, as is typical for any prominent figure who has been in the spotlight for more than 60 years, admirers and media outlets have periodically conjectured about Dolly's health over the years. Her age or brief scheduling breaks that raise queries are frequently the cause of these worries. However, Parton responds to these situations with comedy and openness. She tells supporters that she values relaxation and balance when necessary, works closely with medical professionals, and pays close attention to her health. Crucially, Dolly has never received a serious or life-threatening medical diagnosis, and she would rather talk about wellness than illness. She reminds followers that maintaining good health is about dedication, routine, and mindset rather than perfection. As she grew older and became more conscious of how hard she works, Parton acquired the notion of listening to your body, which she has underlined on numerous occasions. She takes time off when she needs it. She devotes all of her efforts to her pursuits when she feels powerful. A balance-based wellness practice, Dolly's realistic and constant approach to self-care is a major factor in her continued success. At the age of 79. 1. Mental alignment and early mornings. Dolly is renowned for waking up at 3 in the morning every day. This is an indication of intention rather than restlessness. She reads, writes songs, prays, and spends peaceful time during these early hours. She refers to this as her spiritual and creative recharge, and it keeps her emotions in check. 2. A positive attitude. Parton thinks that mental well-being is just as vital as physical well-being. Her ideology is based on positivity, humor, and thankfulness. She frequently claims that the key to her longevity is her optimistic mindset. She learned this trait early in life and has maintained it throughout her career. The capacity to remain composed and joyful under pressure. 3. Easy eating practices. Parton doesn't adhere to complex diets. In moderation, she enjoys eating basic, home-style meals, particularly those from the South where she was raised. She steers clear of excessive food trends and concentrates on keeping healthy quantities. Her strategy, which emphasizes balance over constraint, is refreshingly realistic. 4. Continuing to exercise in her own way. Dolly has never professed to love working out. Rather, she maintains an active lifestyle by making tiny, regular daily motions. She integrates light exercise, stretches, and walks into her routine. She once jokingly claimed that wearing high heels counts as a workout, but underneath the comedy is a deeper reality. She pays attention to her body and selects activities that maintain her strength without putting undue strain on it. The influence of creativity and purpose. It's possible that Dolly's purpose is one of the biggest factors in her resiliency. She frequently claims that what keeps her alive is her creative energy. At over 80, she still does release a new song, work along with upcoming artists, create movies and television shows, compose books, oversee her companies and brands, oversee her charitable endeavors. For Dolly, being creative is more than just a job. It's a motivation to get out of bed every morning. Psychologists frequently observe that having a purpose lowers stress, lengthens life, and enhances general well-being. Dolly is living evidence of that. Dollywood and the leadership energy. For most people, managing a theme park would require full-time employment. However, Dolly actively and personally oversees Dollywood in Tennessee. She attends, takes part in events, manages expansions, and engages with visitors in a genuinely kind manner. Every year, Dollywood attracts millions of tourists and employs thousands. Dolly gives the energy, creativity, and vision that keep the business going even though she isn't there every day. For her, Dollywood is a legacy rather than a business. It's a celebration of pleasure, family, and Appalachian culture. Additionally, she stays engaged and driven when she contributes to something worthwhile. Imagination Library, her health. Philosophy's core, the Imagination Library, Dolly's free book-giving initiative, may be the best example of her sense of purpose. Over 200 million books have been sent to kids worldwide since its 1995 start. Dolly has frequently stated that one of her favorite things in life is teaching kids to read. It provides her with emotional fulfillment, which she feels is essential to overall health. She puts in a lot of effort on this project, going to events, making appearances, and encouraging literacy. One of the healthiest things a person can do, according to her, is to care for others, accepting aging without fear. Dolly has a special affinity with growing older. She publicly embraces it, in contrast to many in the entertainment sector who try to disguise it. She never takes herself too seriously, makes self-deprecating remarks about cosmetic improvements, and makes jokes about her appearance. Her message is straightforward. Getting older is an honor rather than a hardship. She frequently asserts that age is just a number, and her behavior demonstrates this. She never lets age limit her potential, whether she's starting a business, recording new projects, or performing on stage. Fans are empowered by her self-assurance, which shows them that life doesn't have to cease as one ages. Why supporters feel guarded about children who grew up reading her novels and adults who have been listening to her music since the 1970 seconds make up Parton's multi-generational fanbase. Because they have a personal connection to her, they express concern if there is even the slightest sign of health issues. This demonstrates her warmth, modesty, and sincerity. Dolly consoles people as well as amuses them. They are motivated by her. They laugh at her. In a world that frequently seems confusing, she stands for kindness. Her well-being is so important to so many because of that emotional connection. Still driven, still sparkling, still Dolly Parton, who is 79 years old, is one of the most inspirational people in the entertainment industry. She is still vivacious, focused, and full of life despite the public's interest in her health and sporadic worries about her advanced age. Her strategy for well-being is straightforward but effective. Remain optimistic in your thoughts. Keep your equilibrium. Pay attention to your body. Continue to be creative. Keep your life's purpose at its core. Dolly Parton is redefining what aging may look like for women, artists, and anybody who believes in living with passion. She is not merely aging gracefully. She's far from done, if her present energy is any guide.